That's the noise most people will hear the second they hit the ground. Aikido is a form of self-defense that I'm going to be teaching all of you today. I'm going to be teaching you proper falls of Aikido, several techniques you can use to defend yourself, and the history. The way of unifying. Aikido was developed in the late 1920s by Morihei Ueshiba. He was a man of Japanese Orient who had a certain belief when it came to martial arts. He believed it should contain both religion, philosophical ideals, and self-defense. He believed that instead of breaking your opponent's bones, goken, you should defend yourself, incapacitate your opponent, and then leave, in no way harming your opponent. Although this form of martial arts was developed for self-defense, it can be incredibly dangerous, possibly even deadly. One of his quotes, hey, you laugh now, wait till you see him on the ground. One of his quotes was, "I want considerate people to listen to the voice of Aikido. It is not for correcting others, it is for correcting your own mind." Aikido, the one thing you should keep in mind, you are protecting yourself. You are not out to hurt this person. You are not out to snap their arm, their neck. You are not out to kill them. You are out to put them on the ground in the safest way possible, believe it or not, and then leave. 3 main movements of Aikido. You'll notice that there are no punches up here. Aikido is completely defensive. You do not attack your opponent. The 3 main movements are the falls, rolls, and blocks. Usually when you do a fall, you want to hit a certain part of your body. When it's a back fall, you want to roll backwards onto your rear and then smack the ground with your hands to even out the force. Say you get pushed from the side. You want to fall on your side and smack the ground with your arm. From the left side, using this will disperse the pain. It'll keep the pain from going to one area, which will actually hurt a lot more than if you were to hit the ground with your entire body. Rolls. There are only really 2 types of rolls, which can only be used when somebody pushes you from behind. You want to roll using your forward hand with your dominant side. Usually when you roll, you want to turn right back around into a defensive stance, so you see the person that's attacking you. Finally, we have the block. Yeah. Can you see without your glasses?
Yes.
Okay. Hook punch.
Which side, right?
You want to catch your opponent's arm so that it stays away from your face. This can set you up for several techniques. There's also the outside block, a little bit slower. Hook punch or straight punch. Where you go like that, catch your opponent's arm, and then twist down. This will disperse not only his balance, but his punch as well. As I said before, there are dangers to Aikido. Broken bones, internal bleeding is possible, as well as there are fatal techniques. These are called the lotus techniques, which can not only leave your opponent broken and bleeding on the ground, but will leave you open and possibly hurt you as well. I will be demonstrating one lotus technique. It is the least offensive of them all. Finally, the techniques. I will be demonstrating the armbar and its variations, the leg sweep and another separate variation, and then the shoulder throw, both from the back and the front. First up is the armbar. Yeah. Front punch with your left arm. Catch the opponent's arm, bring it up. Grab his wrist, twist it down, grab his arm, and then push him down. You can then roll your opponent over, twist him around on your arm, and then lock him up. When you have the opponent's neck, when you have the opponent's wrist, this is pretty much what happens. They're on the ground.
Pretty defenseless right there.
You're all right. Another variation of the arm bar. Grab. Other hand. Twist your wrist up, grab the opponent's arm, spin them around, and then you have them. You can either drop them to the ground, or you can spin them around rather comically. Next up is the leg sweep. The leg sweep you would use in case of a hook punch or your opponent advancing on you. Hook punch from the right side. This is when you do the block on the inside. Step in, drop your opponent. Oh. There are several variations to the leg sweep, most of which you go into the ground as well. Hook punch with the same arm. Block, move in, down, roll, lock.
Sad.
While your opponent is like this, it's very easy to break the wrist simply by turning it upwards. It takes 5 pounds of pressure to break a human wrist. It takes 2 pounds to open a door. Not that big of a difference. Finally, we have the shoulder throw. I'll be demonstrating from the back first, grabbing it around my neck. Yep. When doing the shoulder throw, you want to somehow get your opponent to loosen his grip by stepping on his foot or elbowing him in the stomach. Then you grab your opponent. Are you all right so far?
Great.
All right.
Great.
Pick it extra credit.
Please, my panic.
For this final technique, does anybody want to donate their sweatshirts or some form of soft object so it doesn't hurt him as much?
It's okay. You probably don't want me landing on your clothes.
Final technique, we will demonstrate from this side, just so it gives us a bit more room and he doesn't hit the desk or anything.
Again.
Feel free to move your desk back.
I'm going out there?
No, you're going on to here. To the side so you don't hit the desk. This is another...
Is this safe?
No.
Giuseppe, is this safe, seriously?
Yes.
Safe for who?
Me. The final technique is a forward shoulder throw. This is the actual lotus technique.
I don't know about this,
I
seriously.
probably shouldn't have eaten so much before.
I'll lower him slowly, I promise.
Seriously.
The final technique is the shoulder throw from the front. This is a technique, this is a sacrifice technique, which is why it's part of the lotus techniques. This is one you would use when you are instantly trying to get away from your opponent. Step forward, hook punch. Grab.
That wasn't that bad. No.
This technique, when done properly and at full speed, your opponent's center of gravity is here.
Do we have to do this thing?
No, because I'm not doing the full technique on here. Your opponent's center, do you want me to?
I bet it will hurt.
Don't just...
Depends.
No. Alright.
The opponent's center of gravity is here. When doing the actual lotus technique, that center of gravity moves up to about here. That's how high your opponent gets, and you slam him back down on the ground.
Pass.
Yeah. Aikido, when compared to all the other martial arts, is very defensive, despite the loud cracks you just heard. I swear none of his bones are broken. He is safe. The second one of those techniques to complete, you are to get out of there. Martial arts, one of the first things that's taught, the greatest defensive technique, lift one foot up, put it in front of the other. Repeat, running away. You're not out to hurt your opponent. You're out to save yourself. It's about unifying your mind. It's about keeping yourself safe. The arm bar, the leg sweep, the lotus throw, these are just 3 of hundreds and thousands of techniques, each of which can be passive and leave your opponent on the ground, more dazed and confused than anything, or it can leave them with a broken bone, or sometimes killed. The lotus technique, the actual kill technique, would be to roll your opponent over and then use 2 fingers and collapse his windpipe. That is the final technique of the lotus. Hopefully you've learned a little bit. If any of you would like to actually come up and try one of the techniques, the arm bar or the leg sweep, I won't allow you to do the lotus, mostly because you're all inexperienced and it would be dangerous. One of you can come up if you want, or Andy can get a little bit of revenge on me.
Come off the top turnbuckle.
Does anybody want to try any techniques?
It's a folding chair?
Does anybody want to try the arm bar or the leg sweep?
I'll never do it.
That is Aikido. I hope I've been able to teach you at least a little bit of self-defense today.
Well.